Hello, race fans, and welcome once again to the Apex This iRacing League. We're here with the C7DPs at round 6 at the Glen here, Watkins Glen. And, look down the bottom there, folks. You're seeing right. The 927, Shane Hunter, has indeed called out the number 12 of Corey Mitchell. So, hey, get your popcorn ready, boys and girls. I think we might have us a battle on tonight. The guys are in the middle of qualifying right now and looking pretty good out there. 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 55% humidity. Wind's pretty low at 2 miles an hour. Track temperature is a toasty 118 degrees. Get those tires heated up rather quickly. And we're going to go ahead and before we get started, I know we're going to go down there and take a look at some of the guys qualifying, but before we do, let's go take a look at the standings. And Corey Mitchell, he's leading just a little bit, by a little bit there over Jaron Haslam. Dustin Burkhalter in third, Bjorn Benches fourth, John Miller fifth, Troy Banks sixth, Adam Baltuda seventh, Joseph Mayer eighth, Eric Elkins ninth, Kent Kruger rounds out the top 10. Paul Slavonic 11th, Jordan Johnson 12th, Tommy Regan 13th, Michael McCoy is in 14th position, Steve Coubet 15th, Shane Hunter is in P16 there, John Over 17th, Andreas Garcia 18th, William Granados 19th, 20th position Justin Sullivan, Michael Bond 21st, and rounding out the field Kenny Teal in 22nd position. And like I said, the guys, they're just got about wrapping up their qualifying here. They have a little bit less than 4 minutes to go in qualifying. Looks like Tommy Regan is sitting at the top there right now. So we'll see how this goes here. Haslam, Mitchell, Hunter, and Burkhalter so far your top 5. I believe there's only looks like we've got 9 cars showing in the server, and hopefully everybody will be able to make it to the race tonight. Let's get a little closer here. There's Paul Lindsay, currently P6 in the standings. And just about everybody's on track. Here's Dustin Burkhalter. Well, okay, he was on track. I guess he's just sitting there at the end of pit road there, getting ready to go out. Matter of fact, I think it's showing here he just came in, so he's not out on track as of this moment. Let's see, there's Corey Mitchell, currently third in qualifying. Tommy Regan, he's trying to get that top spot. He's got just under 1/10 of a second to get there. Try to get that top spot from Jaron Haslam. There's Kent Kruger. And we got just about 1.5 minutes to go now. Now showing 7 on track. There's 2 other drivers, David Fish and David Hudson. They're both in the pits. Not showing either one of them have putting up any kind of times yet. That's Hudson right there sitting at the end of pit road. And tell you the truth, now they're not even going to get a chance to put up a time if they haven't gone out already. There's no way that they're going to get out there now, because it's far too late. Less than 1 minute to go, and as you can see, it takes well over 1.5 minutes just to get around this place. It looks like my audio is working tonight. I apologize for that last broadcast. I had my headset on. I was hearing everything in my headset, but something was turned down that wasn't supposed to be. And you got a good old-fashioned, just like you're sitting there in the stands or something, and just watching the race happen. And but hey, you know, we got everything going again, and I hopefully everyone can hear me just fine. And I had it on my phone here right at the start of the broadcast just to make sure everything was coming through. And seems everything's working pretty good here. And we're just about to wrap this up here, and that'll do it. So that'll do it for qualifying there. And now we're going to wait for the cars to take the field. They're getting ready to roll over to the race session now. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring up your starting grid here. Okay, on the pole, Jaron Haslam starting second, Tommy Regan, Corey Mitchell is third, Shane Hunter is fourth, Dustin Burkhalter fifth, Paul Lindsay will start in the sixth position, Kent Kruger seventh, David Fish and David Hudson no time, so they'll start 8th and 9th respectively. And of course they'll have a rolling start here, and it's all a single class, you know, not like some of the other series we cover here, and have separate starting grids, 2 pace cars, and it'll just be all of them rolling off together this time. And this is also a timed event. Most of the events are usually 40 minutes in length. This one's only going to be 30 minutes in length, and who knows, it may be because of the length of the track, I don't know, and they just decided to put it at 30. So yeah, we'll see what happens in those 30 laps. There's a pace car rolling off. Car's going to it. Haslam is following the pace car, leading the field down. They're going to pace all the way around this track too, which is a little surprising because in some of the races that I've been in, like the official races on iRacing, it seems like they'll start you 2/3 of the way around the track or somewhere near the end of the lap and then get you going. But it may be a little different with league races. They may do that with the official series, you know, just to save a little time, because they do have a fixed amount of time for sure. This is a timed event as well, but you know, they may do that just to keep things moving along quickly. And pace cars bringing them down there to the bus stop chicane. That could be a very interesting little spot there, because you see how everybody's got to get through there cleanly, and there's not a whole lot of margin for error going through there. It's a pretty fast circuit, and I would dare say it's probably one of the driver favorites on iRacing here. And I've always loved driving here at Watkins Glen, no matter what kind of car I'm in, because I'm driving mostly open wheels anyway, but still, it's a real fun track to drive. Okay, making their way around. Everybody, hopefully they're getting a little heat in those tires. Pace car, once he goes through this last section here, and he'll be peeling off quickly into the pits, and we will have this show underway. Okay. Pace car is coming down onto the front stretch here. He's darting in.
Green flag.
And we're racing at Watkins Glen. Haslam takes him down into turn 1. Haslam's always pretty good on those starts. Already trying to put a little distance between him and the guys. Now I thought I saw someone run a little wide. But we're not getting any reports of anybody actually going off track. Everyone makes it through the bus stop chicane there pretty good that first time around. And here are our two protagonists here. There's Corey Mitchell, Shane Hunter right behind them. Of course, Mitchell, he's got a little bit of he's struggling with there with Tommy Regan. Regan's got something to say about it. Regan's moved into P3. Looking to challenge for that P2 position, try to get it from Mitchell. Hunter is still there. He's hanging on to 4th position, less than half a second. You saw Regan gave a little flash of his headlights there. I think sometimes they communicate with another driver if they think they're faster, like, hey, I'm going to pass you. He's flashing him quite severely there. Let's see if he tries to make a move here. We do have not much of an opportunity, but there is a chance to get a little bit of a draft and some momentum. Mitchell did move over. Might have been a little bit of a blocking tactic there. Less than half a second ahead of Regan. Hunter is starting to fall back now. Almost well over a second behind Tommy Regan. While those guys are battling out, Jaron Haslam, he's just pulling away a little bit. And as far as he's concerned, yeah, guys, go ahead and duke it out. The more they do that, the better that is for him. Regan and Mitchell, they're staying pretty close together there. Your leader, Jaron Haslam, he's opened up a huge gap, over 2 seconds now over second place Mitchell. But right now the battle is with Mitchell and Tommy Regan, who have also opened up a little bit of a gap themselves over 4th place Shane Hunter. Hunter's not really having too much pressure on him right now, but he's definitely losing ground to the 2nd and 3rd place cars. Whoa, Burkhalter came in there hot, super hot, and you know, he just went into the wall there, unfortunately. I believe that was Burkhalter. Let's see. Yeah, Dustin Burkhalter, he's running 6th. Let's go back to Regan and Mitchell. They're still nose to tail here. Regan, he did get by Hunter quickly, but he's not finding easy the going as easy to pass Mitchell here. Mitchell now showing the fastest lap of the race. Got that draft going here. Let's see what happens. Get to the chicane. Still not close enough. There's Hunter. I'm sorry, Haslam right there in the foreground there. And Regan and Hunter continue to battle it out. I'm sorry, Mitchell and Regan continue to battle it out. Shane Hunter is almost 4 seconds back there. Shane Hunter, he's got a little company there. Paul Lindsay. I know he wants to catch Mitchell. Mitchell's got his hands full with Regan, and looks like Hunter's got his hands full with Lindsay. Burkhalter, he's showing in 6th position. I'm not even sure. Is even Hudson's even running? Hudson, and there's Kruger. We had David Fish also in the lineup, but maybe he didn't start the race at all. He's not showing. There, Kruger's right there. Kruger's running 7th. And both Hudson and David Hudson and David Fish, they're showing out, but I don't even think they started the race. Let's go back up to Mitchell and Regan here. They're getting ready to catch a lap car of Kent Kruger. That could be a crucial moment there for Mitchell. He's got to deal with that lap car and with Tommy Regan all over his back. Regan's there, and there's Kruger. So what are you going to do? And Kruger, he does a good job of moving by and letting the guys race. That was a good move by Kruger. That's a tricky little corner right there that you got to get right. Sometimes catching a guy can be easy, but passing and catching are two totally different things there. But you got pretty good exit speed coming off of that last turn. It's like we've seen it before. Sometimes you'll see a guy, he'll do just enough to stay in front of the guy that's chasing him. Of course, you do want to push, but you don't want to overdrive the car or force yourself into a mistake, which is a lot of times what the following car is trying to do, trying to pressure you into making a mistake. Because that's one thing about road racing. You really have to stay focused on what you're doing, and there's absolutely no let up. Even on the straights here at Watkins Glen, there's not a whole lot of time to really take a breather at all. You got to stay on it pretty much 100% of the time. Mitchell is holding Regan there to a good 0.4 of a second. Regan, he does catch him in some of those turns. Mitchell so far has been having good acceleration off the corners. And looking at it, they're not that far behind Jaron Haslam now. Haslam had gotten out to a pretty decent lead, but these guys are fighting each other so hard. And then as another byproduct of that, they're kind of running down the leader just a little bit. Haslam had over a 3-second lead, and now it's just under 2 seconds. So he's going to have to start thinking, I need these guys to battle a little harder there so I can get away from them. Caught the rumble strip there just a little bit. His last lap was a couple of tenths slower than his personal best. And Regan's 2 tenths quicker than Haslam's personal best. So yeah, Haslam, he's got to get with the program here. It looked like he is pulling the out to a little over a 3-second lead again. Now something happened with Regan. He was right there on the back of Corey Mitchell, but now he's over 3 seconds behind. There's Regan. And you know, there's Lindsay behind Regan. He was battling with Shane Hunter, I believe, and Shane Hunter indeed went off track. Let's see what happened here. There's Hunter, the number 12. I believe that was Kent Kruger that they were going around. Coming down here. Well, there is Hunter. There he is. Just ran a little wide there. Let's see. Is he? At one point, I thought now he's showing in 6th position. Not sure if he pitted or not. But yeah, he's got a lot of. He's like 28 seconds behind Burkhalter, so he's definitely got his work cut out. And they're almost halfway through this event already. He's really have to push like hell to really get that up there. Let's see. There's Regan trying to close in on Mitchell. Mitchell has a bit of a comfortable lead over him. I think Regan's starting to come under pressure himself from Paul Lindsay. Lindsay less than 2 seconds now, trying to get closer within a second and a half there. Regan's personal best now half-second quicker than your race leader. I think it'll be more of a question now, does he have enough time to catch the leader? Here's your leader, Jaron Haslam. His best was a 147.70. He's definitely, now maybe he's decided he's got he's almost 3 seconds ahead of Mitchell there. He may just be kind of throttling it back just a little bit just to, you know, save his equipment. Don't push it too hard. Save those tires. I mean, he's not exactly battling with him right now, so it doesn't really have to push super hard. That's one thing you also have to think about in racing. You know, if you have a comfortable gap between you and the guy chasing you, there's really no need for you to press the issue unless you're trying to catch somebody ahead of you. But if you're the leader, hey, why not save your equipment? That's just good, smart racing there. That gap is under 3 seconds now. I'm sure he's keeping an eye on that relative, seeing where Mitchell is. And Mitchell, he's definitely starting to distance himself from Regan. And there's Regan. Regan, no pressure at all from Lindsay, who's now just coming through that bowl turn there. There's your 5th place runner there, Dustin Burkhalter. He's got the lap car of Kruger there right in front of him. There's a 927 to Shane Hunter. That's a shame he had that off back there a couple of 2-3 laps ago, and that has really cost him dearly. Tommy Regan, he is continuing to set the fastest lap of the race. You can see there on your battle box there, Haslam, he's Mitchell, no, he got ahead of Reagan at the start there, and Mitchell starting to close up quite well on Haslam, and Regan, he doesn't have any problems at all as far as anybody behind him. And just as soon as I say that, Haslam puts it in another gear there and says, okay, you know, I think you're getting a little too close here. We're going to have to open this gap up just a little bit. Corey Mitchell lapping well there, 141.3s. Let's see how that is compared to Mitchell. I mean, sorry, to Haslam here. And he's now lapping in the 41.3s. So, yeah, he's definitely turned it up. I do believe he was probably saving his stuff there a little bit while he could. And boy, it's getting a little close there, so now it's time to grab that extra gear there and get going. Now just less than a minute away from 2/3 of this race being completed, 12 laps in the books. Haslam continues to lead with Corey Mitchell, Tommy Regan, your top 3, followed by Paul Lindsay and Dustin Burkhalter. There's Lindsay, there's Burkhalter coming through the chicane. And Shane Hunter, he's still running in 6th position. And unfortunately, it's pretty much a lost cause for Hunter now, because he that spin, you know, in road racing. Unlike oval tracks, if there's a spin, if the car is on the track, it'll bring out the caution, and the field bunches up, and everybody can get back together. But on road course racing, if you have an off and even if you don't wreck or have damage, the simple fact that you went off track, that just spells doom for you right there. Especially if you're talking in the tens of seconds. Because he's like, what is it, almost 40 seconds back from the leader there. Let's check in with your leader, Haslam. Haslam's keeping that gap now. He's opened it up even a little bit more from Mitchell. Trying just over 2 seconds now. Less than 9 minutes to go in this event. Let's drop back to Mitchell here. Looking on the track map, they look pretty close, but as you can see, they're not super close to each other. But I know Mitchell has to stay on it. Because every lap, Regan is turning the fastest lap of the race. And despite turning the fastest lap, he still has not caught Corey Mitchell just yet. It keeps kind of hanging around that 1.5 margin there. It's trying to dip now a little bit, getting a little closer to 1 second. Mitchell may be using up all his stuff to stay ahead of Regan. There's still plenty of time on the clock for him to catch him. Nice fast transition through the chicane there. And now look at that. At navigating that chicane, Regan pulled to just under a second. That chicane may be the problem area for Mitchell. Both Haslam and Mitchell are running almost identical laps. Only 0.02 of a second difference between Haslam and Mitchell as far as their fastest lap is concerned there, as you can see on the screen. But Tommy Regan by far is the fastest car on track, at least as far as the fastest lap is concerned. It'd be interesting to see, what his average is. If he's averaging quicker than the other guys, then it's just a matter of numbers there. And Lindsay's in the pit road. Oh, we're having reports that Kent Kruger crashed. Let's take a look real quick and see what we see here. There's Kruger. Getting ready to come out the last turn here. Oh! Did he hit the wall? He kept it off the wall. That's good for Kruger. So he's able to continue on. Let's go up to Mitchell and Regan here again. Tommy Regan continues to crank out fastest laps of the race. which is quite impressive. You know, he's getting faster and faster as the race goes along. Of course, you know, the guys are burning off fuel, and he may be managing his tires a little better. Now we're less than 5 minutes away from the end of this race. Mitchell is about 1 3/4 seconds behind Haslam, and Regan's just over half a second behind him. Is that really enough time for Mitchell to catch? Is that enough time for Regan to catch Mitchell and Haslam? That'd be a bit of a tall order there, folks. He might be able to catch Mitchell, but you know, Haslam, I still think Haslam may just be saving his stuff as much as possible to stay ahead of these two here. And at the rate he's going right now, he's not exactly, he's definitely been catching up to Mitchell, but he's definitely not catching him. There's Regan. Oh, I hear the tires sliding there a little bit now. We got another report that Kent Kruger went off again. We're going to break away one last time. Let's see what happened. That's supposed to be Kent Kruger. That's not. There we go. Or is that the same? Oh, that's the same one. I thought he went off again. That's the same one. So okay, we'll go back live, and we'll go back up here to Regan and Mitchell. 27 minutes have elapsed on the clock. Looks like maybe two more laps, I would say. Regan doing his best to catch Mitchell, and boy, he's getting really close there now. Oh boy, Mitchell having a moment. Both him and Regan having a moment there. Their tires are really starting to complain a little bit now. Both pushing them to the max here. Boy, this is definitely the battle of the race for sure. Let's see. There's your leader, Jaron Haslam, getting ready to come out of the final turn. Just a few seconds away from a lap, 29 minutes to elapsed time there. There's Mitchell and Regan. Regan continues to crank out he has the fastest lap. He has dropped, as you can see, that last lap by, though. He has dropped off. He's been pushing pretty hard, but it may be that he's done all he can do here. Regan hanging on to about a half second behind him there. Haslam has done well to just, as you can see there, they're well within view of each other. Haslam is doing just enough to keep ahead of the second and third place runners. Haslam getting ready to come out of the final turn, and we just hit the 30-minute mark, folks, and it's all gonna be Jaron Haslam now, your winner. And Mitchell and Regan come across where they have been all along. But yes, folks, Jaron Haslam is your winner. Haslam started on the pole and he just kept it going, kept it cranked up all race long. And whatever he did with his tires, he saved it and kept it right where it needed to be all race long. Could say Mitchell did the same thing, fighting off Tommy Regan there. And as they do in the Apex, this iRacing League, they're probably all coming around to the start-finish line for the what I call the class photo. Long ways around Watkins Glen here. Haslam getting ready to come through the final turn here. And here we go. Let's go ahead and show the finishing order here. Jaron Haslam, your winner, folks. Corey Mitchell second, fought off a hard charge, and Tommy Regan. Dustin Burkhalter managed to come up to fourth position there. Shane Hunter finished fifth. Kent Kruger sixth. Paul Lindsay seventh. Both David Hudson and David Fish. Looks like Fish probably did not start the race at all, and Hudson was there for a little bit for maybe 3 laps, but did not were able to finish the race. And that'll do it for tonight's event. And we're glad as always that you can come and check out the race. And we hope that you enjoyed the broadcast. If you did, please hit that like button and also share it with your friends and family, and subscribe so that you'll also know the next time that we go live again with the next race here with the Apex This iRacing League. And for all of us here at Rice Motorsports TV, we want to thank you again for checking us out, and have a great evening.